Three, go.
We are from Zhongli Junior High School, English Gifted Resource Class, Group 8A. I am Sam.
I'm Shan.
I am Lucy.
I'm Juicy.
The topic we are going to discuss is experience the world, makes our dreams alive.
I don't know which department I should major in.
Let's ask an experienced person. Sam got a job that allows him to develop both his potential and interests to reach his goal. Now he is a young and promising pharmacist. Let's ask him what he thinks. Sam, this is Lucy, my beloved girl. She just fools around all day long. I tell her to study hard. Doctors make a lot of money, so I ask her to be a doctor in the future, but she doesn't want to listen to me.
Children are often unable to make decisions for themselves. Most of the time, they make a decision based on the expectation from their parents or teachers. When they start to work, they may eventually realize that it is not their hobby. Then, they may feel bewildered and helpless, but they usually just accept it even though they are not happy at all. When they change their goals, they may already waste a lot of time.
What should we parents do?
I want to recommend a book. I learned about the world with part-time jobs.
Yeah, I've read this book with Shan. The author of it is Wang Haishu.
Yes, I haven't been able to find a job that suits me after graduating from university. I found this book by accident. I did some research with Lucy. The content of this book is that, after the author, Hong Hai-shu, tried 27 part-time jobs, he realized the attributes of various industries. He also overcame his weakness and is not afraid of social activities.
Yes, although the author, Huang Haishu, was born in a civil servant family, when he was in college, he decided to suspend school and decided to work part-time to learn more about the world.
Hong Hai-shu is shy, but he started to try to do a credit card business, and he got a lot of sense of accomplishment from this job.
Speaking of this, I went to a flea market with Shane to sell secondhand stuff.
The money we earned that day was very unsatisfactory.
Why?
When people visited our stand to check the price, they started bargaining. We sat there all day and made only $1,000, and some people bought things with higher prices from us, and then resold them at higher price later.
This is like what Huang Hai-shu wrote in Ways to Face Arrogance, Part A. Those who work in the service industry are sometimes treated with impolite attitude by customers. For example, when the author worked in a supermarket, many difficult customers were dissatisfied with the price. They were rude to the author and deliberately folded the banknotes several times to annoy the author.
In the service industry, the situation happens. In the service industry, customers' morals may not improve with their living standards.
This time at the flea market, Lucy and Shan learned that making money is very hard, but it's worth it. For Lucy, we conducted a questionnaire survey and interviewed relatives and friends around us. The content of the questionnaire about their job content includes salary, job advantages and disadvantages, and how their relatives and friends think about their job. Many factors may affect a person's choice of career.
Those who filled in the questionnaire had different opinions. How do I know which job is right for me?
You can try to keep the diary. Through the process of communicating with yourself in the diary, you can often find a truer self. In wearing brown leather shoes on the left foot and black leather shoes on the right foot, after the author found out that he was shy, he deliberately put on strange clothes to overcome his fear of social interaction.
This reminds me of shark effect.
The shark effect.
Sharks do not have swim bladder. A swim bladder is an important organ to help fish swim up and down.
Does this mean that they must keep swimming to prevent from sinking?
The natural weakness makes sharks stronger than others and become the apex predators of the ocean.
If we don't have as many advantages as others, we can still strive to create new conditions, and we can also overcome our disadvantages.
Lucy, let's draw a Mandela chart to discuss our future living expenses and the required skills for our future jobs. It seems very helpful to plan for the future.
This Mandela chart is about what I should do to be well prepared for my dream career in the future. I am interested in being a pharmacist. The Mandela chart includes the required condition, suitable personality, characteristics, working condition, possible university departments, and admission scores. I keep trying to be well prepared for being a pharmacist.
Wow.
Wow!
Lucy, you can also use the Mandela chart to discuss your future living expenses and your plan for your dream career. The Mandela chart includes the future living expenses of food, clothing, housing, transportation, and entertainment, but real-life living expenses are more than we could imagine.
The living expenses are really important, but now more people go after something materialistic.
Likewise, in full-time, part-time, employees, interns. Huang Haishu was a manufacturing intern in a factory that produced parts but was asked to do the dangerous jobs that no one wanted to do. Interns are those who need to learn the relevant skills on site. Why are they asked to do the dangerous job that full-time employees are unwilling to do by themselves and get a lower salary?
Moreover, part-time employees do the same thing as full-time employees, although they get less salary, and full-time employees always order them around while working.
The intern system seems like mushroom management. It's a kind of way that organizations treat beginners. They are placed in unvalued departments and are forced to be a golfer. They are blamed for no reason, left to carry the can, and have to fend for themselves. They just work without necessary career guidance.
We believe bunches of people have similar experiences. However, it may not necessarily be a bad thing, especially when people just started to work. Frustration can help eliminate unrealistic fantasy and allow us to get closer to reality. The solution of the problem is also more practical than before. However, to ensure the safety of interns is the most important.
In fact, I have a special method to learn about ourselves.
Oh, what is it?
That's grand tour.
Grand tour?
Actually, it means to take an in-depth tour in the target place and learn more about it. The more you learn, the more you know about yourself.
Western teenagers usually spend the gap year taking a ground tour. In general, a ground tour is usually taken before the new semester begins or after students graduate.
We can also give it a try. I call it a micro tour.
Isn't that just fooling around?
As long as we can learn something about the local culture, it can be a micro tour, no matter how long it takes.
We have been studying since we were little, and we never think about what we want to do in the future. If we can learn more about our dream job by taking a grand tour or a micro tour, then it is a great way for us to be well prepared for the future.
Talking to others, searching information by ourselves are both good ideas. It will be awesome if we can find a method to combine our interests and jobs.
It reminds me we just took a micro tour a few days ago. Shen and I went to Zhongping Road Story House to listen to those who love to draw sharing their story. I didn't know that every picture could have its own story until the trip.
I also went to a hospital near my home to interview the doctor and pharmacist there. I didn't know the disadvantages of their job until the interview. They are working under great stress. Some surgeons even have to be on call 24 hours a day for years. It is difficult for them to relax. They spend only a little time with their family and even cannot take a break when necessary. As a result, they can be sick easily.
I also interviewed an accountant about her job. The most important part of being an accountant is to be an honest person. That means when people ask them to loosen restrictions, they should refuse it. Being an accountant also could affect the eyesight, so the accountant need to take care of their eyes more. I certainly benefit a lot from the interview.
Third, we can take a ground tour or interview experts to know more about our dream job and avoid wasting time doing the unsuitable jobs.
I learned a lot from the book. I learned about the world with part-time jobs. It has been 2 years since I graduated. I have changed 5 jobs, and none of them is suitable for me. I felt that among the freshmen, some people may be treated unfairly because of their background, appearance, and ages.
Yes, what is even more terrible is that some people are belittled because they are not handsome or beautiful.
Some unscrupulous bosses take it for granted that young people can earn a living with enthusiastic salaries. They ask young people to receive a small salary but do a lot of work. They say that young people can have more experience and it's fun to pay them less money.
For some people, finding a job is not easy because they are introverted like Huang Haishu.
In looking for the answer in a society where people emphasize the correct answer, the author tried to find out what he should do in the future by reading lots of books about how to be successful. But what is written in the books is someone else's experience, not suitable for him.
Since childhood, many people had told us to read more books. Reading really helps. In Asia, many children care about their parents' expectations and how others judge them, so they seldom make a decision by themselves. We should experience the world and look for what we really want to do by ourselves.
A micro tour is really great.
I also like to keep the diary to know myself and have a self-analysis.
A questionnaire about jobs also make me learn about different jobs.
What's more, I want to introduce a book about ground tours. That is a touching ground tour. We can experience the world, and at first, we can explore Taiwan and experience the local culture.
Lucy, do you know what you want to do in the future?
Mom, I want to be a painter.
Okay, then let's plan a ground tour again.
Okay, this time I want to visit a painter's studio.
Shane, have you found your dream?
I want to be an accountant, but I know I'm not ready yet. I want to work at an accounting firm and be a small mushroom to learn more about accounting.
Stay hungry, stay foolish. Your attitude is great, just like Steve Jobs.
Am I really like Steve Jobs? Maybe I should start to work at a garage.
Starting in garages, isn't Shane going to be an accountant?
Haha, I'm still young. I can experience the world and make my dream alive.
We want to say thank you to Sunny and our parents.